Welcome back to Quietly Secure. Over this season, we've taken a step-by-step look at how the modern internet actually works. The infrastructure behind websites and apps, the economics that fund them, the algorithms shaping attention, the data systems connecting platforms, the physical reality of servers and cloud computing, and the hidden data economy. Smart devices that are expanding into everyday life, artificial intelligence systems, and finally the laws and regulations trying to keep pace with it all. Each episode has focused on a different layer, but together they form a single system, a system that is powerful, complex, and constantly evolving. And as we reach the end of this season, there's one final idea worth exploring. No digital system will ever be perfectly private, and no digital system will ever be perfectly secure. Not because technology is broken, but because complexity itself introduces limits. And today, we're going to reflect on what that means in practice. When people first become aware of privacy or cybersecurity issues, it's common to look for perfect solutions. The perfectly secure app, the perfectly secure private service, the completely anonymous system. But in reality, perfect security is not something most real-world systems can achieve. Every online service involves a trade-off. Usability versus security, convenience versus control, performance versus isolation, and personalization versus privacy. And every additional layer of protection introduces complexity, which itself can create new risks. This does not mean that security measures are pointless. It means security is always about a balance rather than perfection. Modern digital systems are not designed in isolation. They are built to serve millions or billions of users across different devices, different networks, different countries, different legal environments. That scale introduces constraints, compatibility, speed, accessibility, cost, and reliability. And because of that, systems are often designed to be good enough across many contexts rather than perfect in one. This is why even the most advanced platforms still rely on layered security systems, continuous updates, and constant monitoring. They are not trying to eliminate risk entirely, they're trying to manage it. One of the most important shifts in understanding digital safety is recognizing what effective security actually looks like. It's rarely dramatic, and it's usually repetitive. Updating software, using strong passwords, enabling multi-factor authentication, recognizing suspicious messages, reducing unnecessary exposure of personal data, and understanding how platforms use information. These actions do not eliminate risk, but they reduce it significantly. And importantly, they do so in a way that is sustainable in everyday life. Because security that is too complex tends to be ignored. And security that is ignored is not effective at all. A defining feature of modern digital life is that individuals operate inside systems they do not fully control. Platforms, networks, algorithms, infrastructure, and regulations. Most of these systems are designed and operated by organizations rather than individuals, which can create a feeling of distance or lack of control. But it also reflects how modern society functions at scale. No one fully controls the roads, or electric grids, or financial systems. Instead, people learn how to navigate them safely and effectively. The internet is increasingly similar, a shared system with rules, risks, and structures that individuals interact with rather than fully define. One of the most useful shifts in perspective is moving from control to clarity. Instead of trying to eliminate every possible risk, focus on understanding how systems actually work. Instead of trying to achieve perfect privacy, focus on knowing what data is collected and why. Instead of reacting to every warning or headline, focus on consistent habits that reduce real-world exposure. Clarity does not remove complexity, but it makes complexity manageable. And in a system as large as the modern internet, that distinction matters more than almost anything else. If we step back far enough, the internet is not a single thing. It's an evolving ecosystem. Infrastructure that's adapting to demand, platforms that are responding to incentives, algorithms adjusting to behaviour, regulations slowly reshaping boundaries. Users are continuously interacting with all of this. And because of that, it's never static. It changes constantly, sometimes visibly, often invisibly. And that means understanding the internet is not a one-time task. It's an ongoing process. At the beginning of this episode, we said that no digital system will ever be perfectly private or perfectly secure. And that is not a limitation to be solved. It is, in reality, to be understood. The internet is not a system that can be mastered once and for all. It is a space that can be navigated more safely and more confidently with the right understanding. And over this season, that has been our goal. Not fear, not certainty, but clarity. Because once the systems behind the internet become a little less mysterious, they also become a little easier to live with. This brings us to the end of Season 3 of Quietly Secure. Thank you for listening and for taking the time to explore these systems in depth, from infrastructure to algorithms, from data to identity, and from regulation to artificial intelligence, and finally to the reality of living inside it all. If there's one thing to take away from this season, it's this. You don't need perfect control to stay perfectly informed and secure. You just need understanding. And with that, stay calm and stay quietly secure.